Coming through the mirage of blob shapes and AI slop emerges the last car anybody thought would get a glow up. The 5th gen Prius, or XW60 if you want to sound cool, is the first Prius that's making no attempt to look cool or different. This is the first Prius that looks good. And it looks good because it's not really trying to look good. It finally hit the nerve. And the way they're doing it is to embrace what I call transcendental design. The windshield is a steep rake. It rakes down to the hood, to a sharp nose, and out back, a short rear deck. This is the fundamental side profile of automotive beauty. It's not daring or revolutionary, but when executed well, audiences applaud. It's 4/4 time and a blues-based rock song. Everybody knows it, but when you nail it, the world will still high-five you. Cold Hard B by Jet. No Sugar Tonight, New Mother Nature by the Guess Who, Never Been a Reason by Head East, Hair of the Dog by Nazareth, Gen 1 Mustang, Hyundai Genesis, Gen 1 Toyota Celica, shout out Sarah N. Tuned. See, this side profile is simultaneously classic and eternally youthful. And it's odd to me that Toyota, the same company that made the Supra, MR2, Celica, and Chaser, took 26 years to take the glasses off Michael Cera in the Phoenician scheme.
Today's episode of Regular Car Reviews is sponsored once again by Factor. I'm using my little butcher knife today. Factor are fresh, never frozen meals that are dietitian approved, ready in minutes. This is the sauce packet, gotta take that out. And offer a variety of meal options, including vegan, vegetarian, protein plus, keto, and they offer breakfast and smoothies as well. Plus, Factor has something new, Factor Form. This is a dietary supplement. It's full of veggies, and it has no sugar added. So you probably think this is one of those Vitamixes that is good for you, but you gotta choke it down. No, this is a fruity veggie drink that tastes like a treat. This is an automotive channel, so something like this, fantastic for road trips. You know how it goes. You're on a road trip, you're eating fast food, you're staying on the highway. You need some more vitamins in your life, and you need veggies in your life. Factor Form is a great way to get that. You finish it and you already want more. Oh, food is done. So head to factor75.com right now and use code REGULARFDG, that is Regular Foxtrot Delta Golf, to get 50% off your first box, plus free daily greens. That's the little vegetarian shake I was talking about. That's factor75.com. Use my code REGULARFDG. At checkout, you're going to get 50% off your first box, plus these free veggie shakes. I swear, they are delicious. Thank you, so. Who would have thought they could make microwave carrots taste this good? Thank you, Factor, for sticking with Regular Car Reviews all these years. It really means a lot. And now, back to the show.
Is this a black car? No. It's blue and silver, metallic flake. New engine? Not really. It's the same Toyota mess of wires and hoses that you're used to seeing under the hood. All US Priuses get the M204-FXS engine. All-wheel drive is optional. Power figures vary depending on outfit, but you can expect 190 horsepower combined between the 150 horsepower engine and the 40 horsepower electric motor. It has an EV mode, where it's supposed to run off its electric motor. But if you press on the accelerator pedal with any toe larger than your pinky, the engine turns on. Or if you go faster than 20 or 25 miles an hour, the engine turns on. Or if you get creatine splat farts, the engine turns on. Or if the wind blows against you, the engine turns on. Or if you forget to take your boy juice, the engine turns on. Or if you think about Daniel Craig walking out of the water in Casino Royale, the engine turns on. Or if your prostate vibrator that's shaped like Ed Randell's head is set higher to level 2. But here's the real genius move of the 5th generation Prius. Toyota moved the pachinko machine gear selector from the dash, where it was oriented vertically. Come on. You shift skyward to go backwards and down at an angle to go forwards? No. That's unintuitive for new drivers. I hear you, but you're wrong. What did Toyota gain by making the gear shifter intentionally weird, other than, "Fiddle-dee-dee, I'm the first hybrid, woo! I'm wearing a kilt to school and I'm a guy! I'm an industry upsetter! I skip health class and hide in the art room!" Okay, Jeremy, relax. By moving the shifter to the center console, the convoluted Prius shift pattern suddenly makes ergonomic sense. It's no longer skyward, it's now forward for reverse, and back for drive, like every automotive console shifter since 1960. There's a sport mode, but it doesn't make you go faster, it's just a switch that makes the Prius louder.
Okay, electric motors and engine working together, what do you got for me? CVT whine, very Toyota sound. And we're up to speed. And when the four-banger is revving hard, it's not the aggressive growl of a Honda or the syncopated drum solo of a Subaru. It's classic Toyota concrete saw, which, honestly, I respect. Toyota's naturally aspirated four-cylinders sound harsh because the company never bothered to do exhaust tuning to make the engine sound passionate. No, we're just gonna put an intake resonator on here to stop the droning, maybe another after the headers if practical, a catalytic converter for compliance, and a muffler out back. And whatever noise this makes, that's the engine's true sound. No fake engine sounds coming through the speakers, no adjustable baffles. This is how the engine sounds. But I like that. The Prius embraces reality. And now we have this stupid phrase, Hybrid Reborn. Great. And it's an outline of the Prius's angry headlights. Oh no, everybody look out! The Prius has angry headlights now! Toyota, you're 10 years late to an automotive trend that became cringe in 2016. Most modern headlights have abandoned the angry head in 2020. Go look in showrooms. Go look at car headlights. They're all flat now. Flat right across, or as near as make no difference. All headlights look like Friska's face. Now, Toyota will make horizontal face designs by 2036, when automotive design will have evolved all the way to Ignignoc from Aquatine Hunger Force. The steering wheel and dash continues the theme from the all-electric BZ4X. The rear seats are still uber lift hard. You sit back here and the first thing you will think is, oh, well, I hope my Uber driver isn't crazy. Capital One, how much cum is in your wallet? These rear seats are hard. Try to fart in them and they'll send your taco bubbles back up into your lower intestine where they level up into sky trumpets. Logitech, we make the cameras you bust in front of because solos pay more than DoorDash. The Toyota Don't Call It a Comeback Prius drives like a Corolla now, not like a GTA 4 car in the beginning of the game. The power steering in old Priuses was overboosted. They didn't really get heavier at higher speeds, especially for a medium-sized car, which accounts for why second and third gen Priuses always appeared to swerve all over the road. They had super touchy steering. Same deal with the brakes. Now, the brakes on this 5th gen Prius feel like normal brakes, not the old way the Priusi brakes behaved, which was small bite on the initial pedal press, that's your regen kicking in, and then as you press the brake further down, there's a sliver of nothing, almost like you have air in the lines, and then here come the mechanical brakes. The original Prius, and also the 2nd generation one, were from a simpler time when people collected Beanie Babies instead of abusive exes. But this here, the 5th gen, this is the Prius the moment demands. A glow-up that screams, I'm in shape now, but I don't know how to use it to enforce my will. The Prius Prime is a Prius that doesn't thrift shop anymore. It's done with all its criticisms. It's fed up.
like a parent whose kid comes to them the night before project's due and swears the teacher just assigned it. This is the Prius who strikes back through sheer competency, because competence is the new excellence. You don't have to be fast as long as you're quick. You don't have to be cosmetically appealing. You just have to be different than what you were, even if the change is superficial and mostly lateral. 2025 Toyota Prius Prime Limited. It's good enough. Now, in this particular Prius, you have the dual motor, all-wheel drive M20A FXS. It's a 2-liter and classified as a high-efficiency vehicle. But if you get the plug-in one, you get 220 horsepower combined. Now, this isn't that. But either way, the package is tied together with a planetary gear set eCVT with a EPA electric range of around 44 miles. Good luck getting that, because really what's going to happen is you're going to start driving this Prius. It's going to run on electric power to the end of the parking lot, and then you're going to go faster and the engine kicks on. And you get fuel economy, which will top out around 52 miles per gallon. Now, in order to do that, you have to drive slow. Very slow acceleration. Try to do everything you can to keep that engine from turning on. Now, the base MSRP is roughly $29,375. I mean, dealer markups maybe around $32,000. If this is interesting, you could probably get into one of these things for under $35,000. The first generation Prius was looked at as kind of an oddity, and the second generation Prius was just lampooned and made fun of. South Park had a whole episode about people driving these things and pretending they're better than everybody. But now we're in the age of luxury EVs, and a Prius now has just become a normal car. A Prius no longer makes you look like the type of person who plays their own music at the gym through their phone with the speaker on, or the type of person, furry or otherwise, who goes to a convention with a Bluetooth speaker in their backpack cranked. And all the car had to do was start dressing in clothes from someplace other than Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Congratulations, you went to H&M. The driving experience is now just a normal car. Which is also strange because the Prius was always like the unique hybrid, but Toyota always made other hybrids in the line. They have the Camry hybrid and the Corolla hybrid. Can't remember if the Avalon was offered as a hybrid. But the Corolla hybrid was always the plain Prius, because it had pretty much all the same parts, but it just looked like a Corolla. And now the Prius is doing the same thing. It's becoming much more simplistic in its design. Perhaps the Corolla hybrid was the test bed for this 5th gen Prius. Would people accept a hybrid that doesn't pat you on the back? The owner Bailey has shared us with some of the ownership experience. And it doesn't sound like Toyota has gotten their act together in the technology department. It's almost as if they're still employing their rope-a-dope strategy of letting other companies take all the risks before committing resources to something more sophisticated, something less glitchy. I mean, Toyota isn't really incentivized to change entirely, not when consistency is part of their appeal. They're Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat in the 80s, going from town to town, doing variations on the same match every single night, and making bank. It's almost unfair. Why doesn't Toyota have to change? They shouldn't get to do nothing and stay number one. They should have to try and do something. So why don't they? Well, because they did all their trying years ago. Toyota is the automotive equivalent of a content creator who can just talk into the camera for 8 minutes and do 1 million views in an afternoon, while everybody else has to spend 3 hours deciding between thumbnails. But back to build quality. For the most part, the Prius is still good, but I would expect better quality than this has here. For instance, Bailey has owned this since last July, but had to jump this thing twice. Yes, jumpstart a hybrid, because the lead acid battery, the regular car battery, keeps dying when it gets cold. The car is doing something and there's parasitic loss. We did have a colder than average winter this year, and 20-degree days stuck around quite a bit. But ignoring the battery issues, it feels like Toyota still hasn't solved tech integration just yet. It's still lagging behind. The pedestrian detection system is more overtuned than a tavern piano in the Old West, and the seats apparently aren't calibrated from the factory. The dealerships have to do it, but some of them just don't. And the seat adjustment settings won't work until the seat is calibrated. So you have to do this sort of up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start, Konami code to make them work. And then you're good to go. But even then, only the driver's seat is power adjustable for 2025. I mean, I can kind of understand it being a car under $35,000. But another odd thing, when you turn the car on, Spotify will play on and off for 2 seconds and then turn off again. This is despite Bailey disabling autoplay. So the car shouldn't have to be doing this. And I'm not sure why it is. Granted, it's not like it was obnoxious enough to derail the experience, but it does fit into an overall theme of the Prius, that comfort and technology aren't priorities, because that's never been what the Prius is here to do. It's here to get good miles per gallon and say, hey, the future is here. But now the future isn't here, this is just a normal car. So can you please just do normal car things? Prius spent the better part of its lifetime as a car that needed to be defended. Not in the same way you're going to defend buying a Cybertruck, but probably the same way you need to defend using Ozempic. Some people legitimately need it, and others just use it because it's trendy or because they think it's a shortcut to a glow up that allows them to present to the world. Or present the same image of themselves to the world that has existed in their own mind for longer than they're willing to admit. Same deal. Some people get the Prius because they legitimately needed one, while others hopped on board because it was trendy. And the people who defended their choice either defended it on personal grounds or on the broader premise that the Prius represented a direction society needed to go. I'm driving a Prius because eventually everybody's going to be driving a Prius, or something like it. People who got in on the ground floor had to defend that choice to everyone who called this a car for childless adults who try to order from a kid's menu at a sit-down restaurant. Or the type of attitude that Priuses got in the early days in small towns where I grew up. It was the infectious, what, you think you're better than me? If you allow me a slight rant for just a second, that's the attitude I'm so happy I escaped. From small towns, a bunch of limited, small-minded people all pointing at each other saying, what, you think you're better than me? As they all circle this sandbox that's filled with cat poop. Anyway. Yes, the Prius Prime is a sort of postmodern Prius. It's a Prius that vindicates its forefathers by rejecting the need for a defense, because it no longer is trendy. And I don't know that it's necessarily the best Prius that has ever been. The second generation one set the trends, and the second generation may have been the best one. But finally, they moved the shifter to the correct place, and I can go in here and not have to remember I'm doing Prius shifting. I can do normal car stuff. Prius, it's a normal car. But now the Prius no longer represents a weird future, or even the future at all. It's just present, warts and all. The Prius Prime succeeds not by being the best version of Prius to exist, but by virtue of being so crushingly normal that it no longer requires any kind of justification.